Uh, this is Miss J.J. Diamond, Jacqueline Richardson, Deja, Jackie, whatever y'all call me. Normally, of course, I do my podcast early morning, but today I am doing it late at night. I'm having a hard time sleeping thinking about Micaiah Bryant. I hate to call out my own people, but these niggas, they just don't amaze me with the stuff that they do. They're having a protest over the police doing his job because this girl could have murdered this other child. Okay? Now, this is what I'm reading. Okay? This is the gist of what I'm reading. Instead of them working in their community, okay, because someone should have been able to stop that child. And that's just my theory. Okay? In every community, we have one or two children that may be may have mental disabilities. As we know, she was in foster care, so she was going through something. Okay, we don't know but we know that her mom was alive because she spoke. But we don't know what she was going through for her to be in foster care. Okay, so we know that she was going through issues. Okay, and when you got kids like that in the community, those are the kids that you want to love. And they say Micaiah, she promoted peace. Okay, and that's probably possible. She probably didn't want drama because she knew she would go into a rage. That's kind of how I am. So I can understand her promoting peace so that way she won't have to deal with a situation that she knew she couldn't handle. Okay, and it led her to her death. Now, the only problem that I have with the police officer is he didn't have to do 4 shots. Okay? Yes, he did need to shoot her. Okay? Because a knife wound is worse than a gun wound. Okay? For those that don't know. Okay? But they always want to go running their mouths and want to fight for everything. A knife wound, one hit to the wrong vein, a person can bleed out in less than 60 seconds and lose their life. Okay? So this is the part that they're missing. But they want to protest. I tell you, they used to amaze me. This is why I had to speak on this, because you got a bunch of people walking down the street not knowing the facts or why this man had to shoot her. Okay? Because if he didn't, when she raised that knife, and if she would have hit that girl's neck or head, that girl would be dead right now as well. So we would have 2 dead kids instead of 1. Okay? Now y'all look at the reality of this. All it takes is a knife, a pen, a screwdriver, to hit a vein, and you will bleed out in less than 60 seconds and die. Immediately. So what part of that they don't get? Now, why did he have to shoot all 4 shots? How many times did she get hit? Did he miss 3? Or did she take all 4? That's my question. Once I find that out, then I can make a decision on whether or not I feel like that cop is responsible. But right now, I feel like the community is responsible because someone should have been strong enough, mentally enough to walk out there and stop her and have enough focus with that child to say, hey, don't do it. Calm down. Let's go. Give me the knife. Okay? That's the way it's supposed to be done. But because these niggas is lazy in the community and don't want to get involved and deal with the kids that's going through issues, this is why we're going through stuff like this. Every community that I touch down in, and I'm going to say it again, every community that I touch down in, the children in the neighborhood know me. The children could come to me if they're going through something. And if I see these kids out there fighting, I'm going to go out there and stop them. And guess what? They have enough respect for me to focus and listen to me when I talk to them. Because I talk to them on the regular basis. Not just when I choose to. Okay? That's the way it works, people. Now, if someone was there to be able to get that child's focus and say, hey, hold on, what's going on? What you doing with that knife? Come here. Give me this knife. What's going on? Get behind me. No, ain't nobody touching it. Get out of here. But everybody, what is everybody? Punks now? All we got now is Facebook and Instagram gangsters. What happened to the gangsters in the community that run the communities? Where y'all at? Oh, we don't have no more of those, huh? But y'all can protest. How many kids do you know in your community? How many kids do you help on a daily basis in your community? How many kids do you say hello to every day in your community? How many kids do you feed in your community? That's my problem. Right now, my problem is not with the police. I'm sorry. He did what he had to do because she could have killed that girl. In rage. Okay? I'm saying, how many times did he fire at her? It's my question, and I said that before. Did he fire at her 4 times and hit her once? Or did he fire at her 4 times and hit her 4 times? I have a problem with that. If that's the issue, that he hit her 4 times. People, choose your battles. Choose your battles. Now, what happened with George Floyd, yeah, that was an unfortunate case, but this officer just didn't give a damn, and the rest of the officers that was with him didn't give a damn. You know what I mean? And then we have other cases out there that could have been justified, and it could have been done, taken care of differently. A lot of other cases. I had a big issue about the Breonna Taylor. This woman sleeping in her bed. That really didn't sit with me well. Trayvon, that didn't sit with me well either. However, if his parents was the type of parents that I am, that man would have known that that child was in the community. Because that man would have known me. Okay? See, I got boys. And I got girls too. But when you have black men growing in a community, you need to know what's going on in your community, and your community needs to know you. Any means necessary. Okay? This is a responsibility that a parent has to take when you have a child. Okay? Or if you have custody of a child, this is the responsibility that you have to take. If you're living in a community and you have children and they play with other children, it's still your responsibility, because every time that child, you set eyes on that child and that child is not with his parent, it's still your responsibility. It takes a village to raise a child. And every eye is a parent. So when are y'all going to get that? When are y'all going to start understanding that we have to take care of our communities? When are y'all going to understand that? I mean, what part of y'all missing? Make it make sense. You're protesting, saying, oh, he killed the black girl, but she was about to kill a black girl. Make it make sense, people. She was about to stick a knife, and as I'm watching this knife come up, it was going for her neck. That girl would have lost her life. What did you expect him to do? Make it make sense, people. It seems like y'all just want to get up and argue and battle about every little thing when it comes to black people instead of doing what's right by black people. Protecting your own. I can guarantee it won't happen in my community. Because I know every child in this community. And if they going crazy, I'm coming to see what the hell is going on. And I'm going to find their parents. If I can't call them on the phone. So this is what I don't understand. How was this girl running around chasing everyone? Where did she even get the knife from? So she had to get the knife from somebody's house. Because that was a kitchen knife. Now I carry a pocket knife sometimes. Those are a lot different. That look like a kitchen knife. So that means she got that out somebody's house. Who allowed this child to get that knife out somebody's house? She don't have her own house. She's 16. Well, then again, no, they said she was in foster care. So no, I'm trying to give the community some type of leverage here, but y'all, I can't give y'all no leverage. Because all of the facts that they're telling us show us that the community is lacking in love. Because someone should have been able to go eye to eye with her and say, hold that, calm down, let's go. What is going on? Breathe. Let's go. You know, my grandson, he has anger issues kind of like that. But he'll go buck wild, you know. Sometimes, like, I would be upstairs listening. And I might be in my room and I can hear him out there. But as soon as I hear someone say, Miss Jackie, I run downstairs. Because I was the only one that was able to calm him. When I looked him in his eyes, he knew I meant business. I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to process this. I just can't process it. Because it doesn't make sense. I don't see no fault here but the community. And I'm sorry. I have to tell it like it is. Y'all know I keep it real. I promote peace as well. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And evidently she had some type of mental issues and nobody was addressing it. And if the mental issues was there, anger brought it out. You know, I used to be like that as a child. I'm going to tell y'all a couple of stories real quick. You know, when I was in New York, you know, y'all know, I tell you the story about my little brother, you know, and my life and me being in foster care as well. And, you know, I used to try to stay quiet, you know, and stay away from people. And one of the reasons was because the anger that was built up inside of me, when it come out, I would blank out. I wouldn't even know where I was, what I'm doing. It was just to hurt, to kill. That's the way I felt inside. Okay? I used to be so angry that if somebody did the smallest thing to me, I would turn into a beast like I was the Hulk. Okay, this is why it took 10 police officers to get me down. Y'all heard me tell y'all that story as well. It didn't take 10 police officers to beat me and get me down because they chose to. It's because I was a beast. I was throwing them around like they was nobodies. So more had to come. But I didn't have a weapon, so they couldn't shoot me. Okay? But I was whooping their tails. That was all the anger of all the things in my life. It happens. But we have to learn to love these kids. Even some of the older ones, if they in their 20s, they're still children. And we're in a world of chaos today. This world is very, very strange today. This is what I was telling someone today. She said, oh, I want to have more babies. And I just looked at her, I said, in the world today, you want to have more babies? Really? Think about what you're saying. You want to bring a life, you want to have a baby and bring a life into this world of a bunch of people that don't care. That's what you're telling me. To satisfy your needs, to allow that child to may suffer. I had to give it to the way I saw it. Whether she went home and thought about it or not, I don't know. But I told her, why would you do that? Why would you bring a child into this world to make a child suffer? We're going through COVID. We got people killing kids, snatching kids. Kids are dying with cancer. I even wanted another child. I wanted to give my daughter a sibling. But I said, oh no. I'm not doing it. We'll get a dog. And I fear that as well. Loving another animal and it being stripped from me because of somebody else's negligence. I'll tell y'all another story. It's a young boy in Buffalo. His name was Shotty. I forgot his real name, but we called him Shotty. He got the name Shotty because he was killing people. Okay? He always had the gun and he was going in the cut, killing people. He could have picked a better route. But his mind wasn't right. Why wasn't his mind right? His mom was on drugs, and I believe his father was in jail or dead, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. It was so long ago. I took this child up under my wing, okay? And I was a child of I was a child myself, okay, going through anger issues about my life. But I saw that he needed more love than I did because his situation was worse. Anytime a person will take another life because of the way they're feeling inside, okay, it's deep. Now, I gained love for this child. I gained love for him. He would do anything for me. Anything I asked him. I just didn't want him to kill. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? I didn't want him to kill. Not steal, not rob, not rape, kill, dead, okay? When this kid was hungry, he would take someone in the cut and kill him for the money in their pocket. And I calmed that child down, okay? I calmed that child down. And I kept him up under my wing. I made sure he ate every day. Let me tell you the story. I was waiting on getting some services in Buffalo, New York. And I didn't have no money. I had 6 kids? Let me count. Juana, Dejour, Danielle, Nakia, Shotty, and the cat, Bootsy, and myself. The 6 of us. We was living on Thatcher, Kensington. And I didn't have no money to feed these kids. I had a couple of friends that would come through, they give me 10, 20 bucks here and there, but that's not going to feed six kids, six people, okay? Because the cat got to be fed too. Well, seven, because I was six, and then the cat was seven. So I went to the was it the BJ's? I believe it was the BJ's. And I wrote a check, knowing I didn't have the money in the bank. I wrote a check. I bought $800 worth of food, and I bought diapers. So all I bought was food and diapers. Because I didn't want these kids going out here doing wrong to be able to eat. Okay? I didn't want Shotty saying, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to go out here and kill somebody to feed us. I wouldn't been able to sleep at night, knowing that this boy had went out there to kill someone, and I was eating off of blood money. You hear me? So I took the responsibility in feeding these kids, okay? Now, granted, I could have got in trouble behind it, but it was in the name of God. You hear what I'm saying to y'all? It was in the name of God. The police came to me and they said, because they already knew. They knew who I had calmed down. They knew. And they said, at the time my name was Dowdy. He said, Miss Dowdy, we looked at your list. We see that you didn't buy TVs. And all of the kids were standing at the door behind me when the cops was, talking to me. And I got the baby in my arm, which is my son, Dejour. And all the rest of the kids is behind me. And the cops is like, we saw it on the list of what you bought. We saw you bought all food and diapers. And we see you got the baby. We see the kids. He said, I was supposed to come here to arrest you. But he said, I see that you was true to what you was doing. You was trying to take care of your family. I told him, I said, yeah, well, I applied for food stamps, but they won't give it to me yet. It's taking so long. Here we go with the government again. It's taking so long. So I had to feed these babies, I had to be honest, because I was caught. And he said, well, that's what I'm going to do for you. See if you can get the money up, okay? I told BJ's that I was going to work with you, okay? And I'm looking at him like, you don't even know me. But guess what he did? I was new to the town, but he knew me. He said, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to try to give you like 6 to 8 weeks to come up with this $800 and pay it back. And we'll scratch this. It won't be no case. It won't be nothing. We'll get rid of it. I'm going to tell y'all how God works, y'all. I stressed out over this $800, for like 2 nights. I called up a couple of friends. And, one friend said, okay, well, I could try to get you some of it. And I said, okay. I said, all right, now try to find a job or something to get the rest or whatever the case may be. I'm trying to find out all kind of ways so I can get this money. Then I'm saying, okay, well, I don't have nobody to really watch the kids like that or to be here with them. Only person I got is Shotty to protect them because we knew in a town. So I didn't want them to be unprotected. I took on the responsibility of taking on someone else's child. And I didn't want nothing to happen to her because I took on that responsibility. I looked that mother in her eye and said that I would make sure that your daughter is safe at all times. So now I got to leave your daughter behind and go to work so I could feed. So y'all see the circumstances that I was caught in. But then all I had was this guy that I know is a murderer to watch among my babies. So I was caught between a rock and a hard place. But see, when you have faith in God, God delivers. I was walking down the street and I met this guy. And I had met the guy prior, but this particular time he came to me, just to visit. And he's like, hey, Deja, I'm just coming through to see how you doing. What's wrong? He kept looking at me. He's like, what's wrong? I can see something wrong with you. You always got a smile on your face. And I told him, I told him the situation. His name is Adrian. Shout out to Adrian. I told him the situation. And he said, you know what? He said, it's your lucky day. I said, why's my lucky day? He said, well, I was coming over here to tell you I just got my settlement from my car accident. And I looked at him. And he said, don't worry about it. I got you. He said, how good God is. He said, I'm going to go cash this check in the morning. I'm going to take it to the bank. I'll bring you the $800. I said, just bring me a money order so I can mail it. So I don't even need the cash. I need the money order. He said, okay, I got you. That next morning, he knocked on my door with that money order. I said, okay, I'm going to get a job to try to pay you back. He said, I don't want it back. Because he knew he had to give away some money anyway. Because he had faith in God. You see how that works? So he knew he had to give 10% of that money up anyway, and I was part of that 10%. Y'all see how God works? And he covered me. I didn't have to leave my babies with this murderer. Long story short, and this was a kid. This wasn't no man. This was a kid. I'm going to finish telling this story. He stayed with us for a long period of time, Then he would go away, come back, he always check on us, whatever the case may be. If we need him, we knew where to find him. He took us to every spot that he'd be, so we know where to find him. One night, he tried to take advantage of one of my girls. And that wasn't going down because I told you, when I looked her mother in her eyes and I told her I'm going to take care of your daughter, I meant what I said. So that means that both of us was going to have to die in that house that night. Okay? And I went and got a knife because I was afraid because this dude was a killer. I've seen him kill. So I went and got a knife and I said, you know what? It's about to go down. But let me tell you how aggressive this guy was. He strong on me and took the knife from me and started stabbing himself. Okay? I hate to talk about it. The love that he had for me because I gave him love. When I told him that I was disappointed and he asked me, he said, well, why are you yelling at me? I said, because you shouldn't be doing whatever you're doing. He said, but she gets to do everything and I don't get to do anything. And I'm like, no, that's not true. What you're doing is wrong. He said, then you pulled a knife out. You want to hurt me. You don't have to hurt me. I hurt myself. And he starts stabbing himself in my kitchen. Okay? He left out. He went across the street to the bar. And I had to calm myself down. I had to calm my girls down. And then I walked outside to look for him. Because this is the love that I had built for this child. Okay? I went in the community to find him. And when I went in the community to find him, he told me he just left. And I said, well, he was bleeding. He was stabbed, And one of my people that was cool with me said, what happened? I said, he started bugging out in the house. And they said, see, we told you don't be helping that boy, And I'm like saying to myself, but y'all, you gotta try to help when it comes to, especially a child that's so lost, where they're killing people. Somebody has to help. Somebody has to step in. And God told me to step in, and he carried me every step of the way. Did he ever go to the hospital? I don't know. All I know, the last thing I heard was the police killed him. Okay. Shotty was so enraged. I'll never forget me and my brother driving down the street. And you know how sometimes you have road rage and drivers that argue with each other, whatever the case may be. And my brother was arguing with another driver, and they didn't get out the car or nothing. Shotty jumped out the car and pointed the gun straight at the man's head. And I had to jump out the car. Shotty, no, pay attention. Look at me. No, get in the car. I'm telling y'all this story because there is some people out here that just get enraged like that, okay? And no, we don't want them to die. We don't want them to be hurt. We want to be able to save them. And this is why we try. But we tried. But if nobody was trying with Micaiah, Bryant, this is why this happened today. She's only 16. See, Shotty was, if I'm not mistaken, Shotty was 20. When I first met him, he was 17, about to turn 18. And I believe, he was either 20, 19, getting ready to turn 20. We have these type of kids in our communities. And all they want is love. But they will turn on you. When they feel like their back is up against the wall. Okay? Granted, we don't know who started the issue with these girls. We don't. And this is why we try to teach our girls today to be ladies and be supreme and don't be out here fighting. Because you don't know what somebody else's situation is and what kind of situations you can get caught up in because of their background. This is one of the reasons why we do promote peace. Because you don't know a person's background. You don't know what they're capable of and what the circumstance may turn into. And this young girl is dead today because of a situation that could have been controlled. It could have been controlled. And I blame the community. Oh, we've had a few in this community. However, situations was controlled until they were able to lead this community. So do y'all see one of the reasons why I tell y'all when I say I'm tired? I've been doing this thing for 30 years. 30 years, people. Going into communities, connecting with kids that didn't have that love because I was one of them. Granted, you may not get in every community that child that's been in foster care or adult that's been in foster care so they understand what they're going through mentally and physically. But you know that if a child is in foster care, there's some things that's going on, whether it's with the child or with the parents. Some things is beyond a child's control. And then they start to hate their lives. Like, why me? This is why all people are supposed to be in tune with children. This is one of the reasons why I'm having so many difficult feelings about what's going on with my daughter and her not being in school because this particular school don't care about children and they shouldn't exist. But I'm going to let this county determine whether or not they want them to raise their children. Because they can stop them. Especially in today's time, people, kids is having a hard time understanding what's going on in the world. All they know is they have to follow all these guidelines. Everything is being dictated. Why is it being dictated? Because I said so. Make it make sense. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I tell people that all the time. You tell me to do this, but you're not doing it. Lead by example. Then you have those kids that may see majority doing one thing, and then the parent not doing the same thing, and then they think you're different. So that becomes a problem as well. So we have all these different problems that these kids go through, and they're growing. They need to understand why. You know, shout out to Buffalo. It's one thing about Buffalo. They seen kids on the street. Somebody always took them in, you know, and loved them, gave them that love, one way or another. Shout out to Charlotte. You know, I have one here that tried to help out in taking a child that was on the street. It didn't turn out good, but they tried. You know. And so we always take our hats off to those that try. But that's all you can do is try. You know. Do we know how many times anyone tried to help this particular girl? Stop passing judgment until we know all the facts. Because there would be 2 black girls dead right now. Because if she would have stabbed her, she would have probably died or been very, very injured. And he would have had no other choice but to shoot her because she had a weapon and already attacked in front of him. See, police officers were hired as a deterrent because they're really hired to serve and protect, but also a deterrent. So when we see the police officers, if we're acting up, we're supposed to straighten up because it's told to us that they're the ones that can go take us to jail or kill us. Now, lately, cops has been acting really crazy amongst us people, our people, and I get it. But when you're looking at a child in a community where the community could have stopped it, first of all, why didn't somebody in that community walk up to that police officer? See, that's the way it works. When a police officer gets out the car, there's always supposed to be someone appointed in the community to walk up to the police officer and say, hey, you know, I got it, or this is going on, or whatever the case may be. I'm going to tell you another story. One of my young ones, he was learning, watching and learning, you know. My Meshach, I'm going to say his name, Meshach. You know. He was in the community before I came to the community. His mom, you know, God bless her soul, she passed away. But he was watching and learning how me and one of his family members was pretty much running the community. Okay, we was doing it by ourselves, 2 women by ourselves. With all these kids, bad kids, boys, we was doing it, okay? Every day it was like a lot of work you don't understand. Y'all don't understand, okay? So my other half left the community so she couldn't help, you know, anymore. So I was pretty much doing it on my own. So he decided to step in and help me out, And the police came and we stopped them, And we said, hold on, I was talking to the police, letting them know whatever was going on. He said, hold on, I got him. I'm going to talk to him. Hold on. He went and found them, and they had their eye to eye, and then he started to calm down. Okay, so do you see how even when you as an adult are leading by example, even the younger generation picks up on that, and they see how it works, and they say, hold on, I recognize my power, and I'm going to go out here and I'm going to make sure nothing bad happens in my community. So do you see how by leading by example, how you can be training other kids and other kids are watching how to maintain a community? This is the way it works. Everybody left that day happy. Nobody was hurt. Because this particular child had an outrage at the time. This is why I tell us to lead by example. Because kids are always watching. No matter what age they are, they're always watching. And those will be the next ones to run the community. Because we get old and we get tired. Like, I'm tired now. But I still check on my boys every day when I go out. What's going on? Y'all good? Y'all look like y'all bored, need jobs. I don't have too many girls, bigger girls. The girls are little right now. But we have to keep these kids in the community active. We need to know what's going on at all times. This is why I blame the community. Okay, until I hear further. Like I said, he let off four shots. It only takes one shot to take a person down. I'm kind of worried about that one. But until we find out the facts on how many times she was hit, then I will be determined on whether or not y'all should be protesting or not. Because she only needed to be hit one time to be taken down. And this is the other thing. I don't know why the police officers don't know this. And they should know this. If you shoot someone in the calf, in that main muscle, it's going to take them down. Why do y'all always aim for the body? That's a question that I have. Okay, and that's something that needs to be addressed. Anytime you shoot anyone in the calf, it's going to take them down. Because that is a muscle. And the muscle is going to tighten up so bad to where they can't stand. So why are we shooting people in the body? We know y'all got a gun and y'all know y'all been hired to take lives. We know this. But you don't always have to shoot someone in the body. You can catch them in the calf and still make them drop. So I'm just trying to understand some theories, that y'all using. Why y'all not teaching these guys to have certain aim to be able to take a suspect down without killing them. I'm trying to understand it. So, I'm just, trying to figure these things out here. Columbus, Ohio, I feel sorry that this happened to y'all, and I hope and pray, that y'all communities will become stronger, and try to work with the kids a little bit more. Everybody wants to just care about themselves. Nobody cares anymore. That's why I say my era was the best era coming in, because everybody was your parent. Everybody. And some of these kids can get irate and act like they the adult and you the child, especially when they've been out there taking care of themselves. And you get it. But they have to learn. And if they're the type of child that think that, they can go around disrespecting people and mistreating people and nobody wants to deal with them, then they're going to have to learn one way or another. But for those that's just seeking love, it shouldn't be a problem for a child to get love. Not at all. If I see a child standing outside and they just standing there by themselves, I'm going to speak to them. Hey, how you doing? Who you with? What you doing? I want to know what's going on with you. Why you standing here? Why you by yourself? Oh, well, because okay. Well, you know where I'm at. Call me if you need me. Okay. That's how you deal with them. I had one that lost her life around here. She wasn't here around the neighborhood when she lost her life. But she ran off somewhere. And I tried to get her to talk. Tell me what was going on with her so I could help her. But she wouldn't talk. And so she finally talked later on once she got to know me. That's another thing. We teach our kids don't talk to strangers. But if you see somebody living in the community and they got kids too, they're not a stranger. So we got to remember what we're teaching our children. It can save their lives. This hurt me to my heart to see such a young girl lose her life. And it was, all she needed was somebody to just say, hold on, and give her that hug and say, calm down, and take her indoors and calm her down. That's all she probably needed. And then she would have been able to express herself. Now, I did hear something about, or read something about a grandmother being there. Somebody was trying to stab. Somebody was trying to hurt a grandmother. Now, is that why she was acting irate? I don't know. Or was she the one trying to hurt the grandmother? We don't know. I mean, I read the story. I heard some of it in the background of the video. But it's all very confusing. And until they lay it out, totally, we can't get a real understanding of it. Right now, it's just, the story is not, it doesn't make sense. That's all I'm saying. It just don't make sense. How is it that this one girl have a knife and scare all these people and nobody there was strong enough mentally, keyword, strong enough mentally to focus on her and get her to calm down? That's what I'm not getting. They just let her run wild with this knife. Nobody said, come on, let's go and just leave her. Leave her there to rage by herself. But you got all these people that was out there. I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to make sense of it. And it's not making sense to me. Y'all know my favorite new words, make it make sense. Who is at fault here? She's a kid. And there was no adults around. But okay, maybe the grandmother. And when the cops pulled up. See, and this is one of the reasons, too, why I try to stay strong. I try my best. I try to work out and try to stay strong. Because sometimes some of these kids, they're strong and they will overpower you. I stay strong so they can't overpower me. I'll let them know in a minute. I look them straight in the eye and tell them you're not stronger than me, so stop fighting. Because I used to be a beast just like you. When they able to recognize that somebody has been through what they've been through or is going through what they're going through, sometime they will wind down because they say this person recognizes. It's not just me. I'm not feeling like I'm in a strange world and I'm different. Well, this world got us all feeling like we different and we in a strange world. We all feel like that every single day. It will mess with your mental. And then this is when you put up that shield and you want to just go off. And sometimes that going off may be at the wrong time. You know, I always tell myself, if I got to go off, I try to do it behind closed doors where there's nobody around, so I won't hurt nobody and I won't hurt myself. Because sometimes your body can't take all of that negative energy. That's what got me into meditating, people. You know, that's what got me into meditating because I couldn't carry all that negative energy with me. It would be like building me up to be this beast. You know, so I got into the meditation so that way I could release some of that. So when a person do come at me, I'm able to think instead of snap. Because I used to snap, especially after my aunt died. Because she was like the one that was there for me, that was able to connect with me. And when she passed away, it was like God had took away everything that I had. And that's the way I felt. So if anybody did anything to me or said something to me wrong, I would snap. So I know what she was probably going through mentally. But it needed to be someone there that can calm her down. The same way I used to be there for Shotty to calm him down. But then I got to the point where I couldn't control him no more. And see, I was controlling him for the good. Now, you don't want to control kids for the bad, because it'll come back to bite you. But if you trying to control the kids for the good and help them see the light, that's okay. When you want to see good with them. You know? But then you got some people out here, especially some men, them predators, pedophiles. They want to control the children and try to do all kind of things to them. Yeah, we got to look out for those type of people. But when you got a mother out here, as it's out here with her kids, or excuse me, I'm tired, y'all, but I had to talk about this. You got a mother out here with her kids, and you know, with other kids, and you see that they just need love. You just give them the love. You know, my kids, they hug me, they talk to me. You know, if they're going through something, because I listen. Like the other day, one of my kids on the block, you know, so he kept saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so hot." He ain't realized I hurt him. So I brought him something to drink. He just looked at me. Like, damn, she heard me. Yeah, I heard you. I listen to everything I say. I stay focused. Do you see why I can't drink and I can't use drugs and I have to meditate on a regular basis? Because when these kids talk, they want somebody to hear them. Even if it's just saying that I'm thirsty. The love. It means a lot to these kids. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss J.J. Diamond, Jackie Deja, Private Friend Incorporated, Columbus, Ohio. I'm sorry for your loss. The family of Micaiah, Bryant, I'm sorry for your loss. And may God continue to cover you guys. In Jesus' name, amen. I'll talk to y'all Monday morning.